Hi everyone, my name is Ashton Watkins,
My name is Rachel Cagle. Ashton and I are students in the marketing department at the academy.
and we are joined here today with Dr. Sabin, the principal of the Bccca.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Sabin.
How are you all today? Good.
Good. We have a few questions for you today regarding our end of the year project for marketing.
Perfect.
In marketing, we all have a final project. Me and Rachel came up with the idea to expand the Bccca curricular-wise. We are planning to hopefully add curricular classes and such as like core classes and pathway classes so students can get more career readiness and experience for when they graduate.
Interesting.
When you first began the academy, Dr. Sabin, what was your inspiration for it?
The inspiration for the academy was we saw that there were a lot of students who didn't know what they wanted to do after high school. They wanted to figure out what they wanted to do, but only after they graduated. So they were going to college for 4 years and many times not even figuring out what they wanted to do during that time, and very expensive. So our goal was to help students become more knowledgeable about what they want to do after they graduated. And then secondly, we want to create a great workforce for Bartow County.
So what was your first vision of the academy like? Why did you choose this location in particular?
Well, it just really worked out beautifully because Cass High School had moved out about 2 years earlier, and we needed a facility, and the school system already owned this facility, so we were able to take over. It's over 186,000 square feet, and so we were able to have a nice facility already here. So with the grant that we received, we were able to fix it up.
All right.
Who helped you with the making of the academy?
That's probably the best thing about the academy is that we had an advisory board made up of business and community and students. And all those folks worked together to develop what the curriculum was going to look like, what programs, how we were going to look, and what we were going to offer students. So really it was a complete community effort.
How difficult was the grant process? Were there a lot of challenges that you had to overcome?
The grant, just like most grants, has a lot of hoops to jump through, but I felt like with our collaboration of the community, we were really able to get those folks together and to be able to do that. And we had a couple of grant writers from Bartow County who helped us, and so we had several committees, subcommittees that worked on it. We actually hired a consultant that helped us through the process, so we were able to get over $3.5 million to renovate
Wow.
the facility.
Wow.
So where do you hope to see the academy in 5 years from now?
What I hope is in 5 years from now is people don't say, well, I never heard of the academy, or I don't know anything about the academy, but it becomes almost second nature where everybody in this community realizes the economic and workforce development center that we have here, and it's used by the community, by our students, our high schools, and that it becomes a real workforce generator and helps students gain that competitive advantage that in Bartow County, when you come from the Career Academy, people are ready to accept you at their colleges and ready to hire you for their jobs.
Are there any changes you'd like to see made to the academy, or are you satisfied with the way it's run now?
No, I definitely want to see some continued growth. I want to see us continue to add more college classes that students can take while in high school. It's such a great opportunity that they can do that for free. I want to see us have an automotive lab here at the academy. I really want to see our heating and air conditioning lab take off, because there's so many jobs in both those areas. It gives students so many opportunities.
Do you have a good idea of how many students attended the academy the first year was open? I'm sure there wasn't a lot who knew about it. Has that changed at all?
Yeah, it definitely has changed. Our first year was 3 years ago, and we started off with 185 students, okay? And we started this year off with just over 500. And so
Wow.
you can see the growth there. And we've just finished registration. Right now we have about 575 who signed up. Of course, that'll change. We'll get some more and some will leave. And so we'll probably end up around the 550 mark, which was our goal for 5 years, and this will be our 4th year. So if we hit that 550, I'll feel really good about that.
That's
Do you
great.
feel comfortable with that number of students now? Like, are you happy with it?
You know, Rachel, I think we need to have a good balance of enough students where we can offer good quality programs, but not so many students that when I walk through the hallways, I don't recognize students that are in the halls. So I want to strike that balance, which is that personal relationship, but yet we have enough where we can offer good programs.
I think that is one good thing about the academy. We feel very close with the teachers and the
Right.
principal and all the staff.
Right. And that's the whole idea. You know, we ought to be a learning community preparing for careers and helping you all prepare for what you want to do with your lives.
In your opinion, how do you feel the academy helps students more effectively than the base school does?
Well, I think that the base school and the academy have a lot to offer, okay? And it really just depends on what the students' interests are and what their passions are and what their aptitudes are. So if you are really all about marketing, okay, and you want to really get into that field, we have a lot to offer here with Ms. Super and her contacts in the community and those activities. But if you're really into band and you want to take a lot of band classes, you need to stay at the base school and take band classes. So it's not one is better than the other, it's just more opportunities.
Is there any way that a student who is in maybe band or chorus or even drama could still have those pathways at the base school but also attend the BCCA?
We have a lot of students who are in band and chorus, and to still come over here. The way we're set up now with the block, you know, you can come for half a day here and half a day there and still get your fine arts classes. But I think that if you really want to take multiple band classes, or if you want to take, you know, a different pathway, let's just say you want to take construction. Well, we don't offer construction here, so you know they have a good program at Cass and a good program in Adairsville. So again, I don't think we're in competition. I think we are offering more things to students so they have more choices and they can find their niche.
Do you feel that there's miscommunication with the base schools, like regarding information being given to us students?
I think communication is the #1 challenge that we face at the academy. You know, everything from the very basics about what the calendars are like, you know, and making sure that the students get communicated about prom, get communicated about dances and different things going on at the base school versus the academy. And then on a much higher scale, I think that we've got a lot of work to do still with getting our teachers educated about what we are. You know, I think it's easy to feel like they're taking away students from our base schools, okay? But I think if they realize what we have to offer students, I think they would see that as a benefit. And that if you imagine that the academy is just another building right outside the back door of Cass High School, Woodland High School, Adairsville, okay, we are as an extension of those schools, not in competition with those schools. I think there'd be a lot less fear.
Do you ever see maybe Cartersville students attending the school?
You know, that's been discussed by our community quite a bit. I wouldn't see that being out of the realm of expectations, but I think some things politically would probably have to change.
How do you feel when you're put in a situations such as teachers or students persuading other students against the academy?
Well, you know, I think our best advertising is the students. You know, so when we have students who are successful, who are finding enriching things here at the academy, and they talk to students, that's a great, great marketing tool for us. As far as teachers feeling like maybe that they're fearful of students going there because maybe they're going to lose some students from programs and those types of things, I think again we got to do a better job of communicating. That it's not a if and or type thing. That is, we can have both and have those opportunities. You know, we have a lot of students in Bartow County in our high schools, okay? We have plenty of opportunity for everybody. And so I think if we have viable programs that are meaningful, that can help prepare students for after high school, we owe it to our students to offer those.
All right.
Do you ever see the school becoming more than just a charter school, possibly becoming a full-time school one day?
No, I really don't see us becoming a full-time school. I think that would get away from our mission. You know, if we started having athletics and we started having, you know, all the things that a regular base high school has, then we would be the same as a regular base high school. We don't want to compete with we don't have a mascot at the College Career Academy because we don't want to compete with the high schools. We are an extension of the high schools. When a Cass High School student comes over here, they're still Colonel. And we want to promote that, you know. I go to the football games, I go to the athletic, you know, things. I mean, we're not a separate high school, and we're not designed to be that way. We're to enhance what's already at the high schools.
Has the academy won any awards yet, or are we in the running for an award maybe?
Well, as far as awards go, as far as the academy goes, you know, we've had a lot of students who've competed in different competitions. So, for example, look, we have HOSA. And our student just got back from the HOSA competition, and one of our students placed 4th in the whole state.
Wow.
in their competition. So we've had a lot of individual successes and a lot of program recognition. But as a school, the recognition that we get is that we are a charter school, and you know, that we have those, are been given that latitude to do things different here at the school.
How were the teachers picked for the school? Did you
That's a
pick
great
them,
question.
or?
You know, it hasn't been one way, so it's been kind of a combination. When we first opened, we moved some programs over here. Like, for example, Mr. Moody was teaching public safety at Woodland. So when the program came, he came with the program. But then there have been other circumstances when we've had openings, like for a position or something like that, and then we sat down with a panel of teachers and students, and we've interviewed and hired staff. one of the things I look for in a staff member here is that they have a different vision for school, and that is that we're preparing students for career and college, okay? Not just everybody's gonna go to a four-year college. Should not be our only focus, because a lot of students won't. And there's a lot of opportunities out there for students who wanna get a technical certificate or a technical degree and go to the work.
What are some other pathways or classes that you personally would like to see added here? Like, we have a list such as like culinary and aviation, things like that. But we wanna know what you would like to see.
We work real closely with our economic development group, and so I really look at where the job's gonna be. That's my number one thing I look at when I look about pathways, okay? Not really even what students are interested in so much as where the job's gonna be. So I would really like us to see us make this HVAC, heating and air conditioning program work, because I know there are jobs out there for that right out of the gate. And then auto tech. There's a big need for folks who can work in the auto industry, and not what you think about like under the car changing oil, but actually in computers and in electronics and all the things that go with diagnosing cars now, when they plug them into a computer base and figure out what's going on with those.
Yeah.
So auto tech and the BTU Academy, I would really like to see us offer a cosmetology. We have a lot of interest from our students across the district in that. We can't cover the need for that right now, and so we could add to that, I think. So those three programs.
I hear that we are bringing cosmetology, and I've overheard a lot of students, such as like freshmen, talking that they want to come over here and take cosmetology. So I think that's great that we're adding
And
it.
that's what we're doing. We're trying to, right now we have the lab already. We're just trying to get the students signed up for it.
I know at the base school, I've heard it's hard to get into cosmetology, so
It
I think
is.
it's good that we're having here.
Right, and that's an example of where we see such a high need, and we're trying to get the overflow. Just so, again, just like the school being right outside Cass High School, the students can either take cosmetology here or they can take it there.
Do you ever see freshmen attending the academy?
We've talked a lot about that. I'd be interested to hear students' opinions about that, if you think freshmen are ready to have that freedom to come over here. And you know how it's different here than it is at your base school, where there's not as much supervision, and you are responsible to go to your classes on your own and to be there and to follow up with what you have. So I'm not sure freshmen, I think it's important that freshmen get a good start grounded in high school, figure out what their interests are and what they want to pursue, and then come over here. So right now, I don't have a big passion to bring freshmen over here. I think there's plenty of time to complete a pathway here between 10th grade and your senior year.
I agree with that.
I do too.
Do you have any annual events, or do we have any annual events that are hosted here?
We have a lot of events, actually. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but we did our cookout and tailgate party in the fall semester. We had the dodgeball fundraiser that we did for the Alzheimer's Association. And of course, we have our Academy Awards twice a year. And we'll do that again in the spring. And then we'll have another event in the spring. And we're working on that right now. Matter of fact, the marketing team is looking at what would be the best event. And we're going to be sponsoring Relay for Life this spring semester. And so they've surveyed the students to find out what kind of event they think would be best to draw in students to promote that fundraiser.
So before the academy was the academy, it was the old Cass High. What was it like before then? Was it hard to clean up and get it started for the academy?
Well, Mr. Nelson's the principal at Cass High, so I hope I don't offend him, but when we got in here, the building had been quite messed up, you know. But I think that's because they didn't know it was going to be used for anything afterwards, and so basically they just left anything here that they didn't want. And so when we came in, one of the big jobs was just getting rid of a bunch of trash. And then also there was some graffiti and things like that. So I think when they left out of here, I think like they didn't realize that the building would be reused. And it had been a couple years in between when they left and when we reused it, so I'm sure other people would probably have used it too. So, but yeah, a lot of work. But I think now the building was built in 1977, so it's an old building. But I think when you walk around, it looks clean. It's very usable. We have projectors in every classroom. We have technology in the classroom. So I think we've done a good job of transforming it and reusing the facility.
What made you choose the old Cass High for this location?
Well, again, it was really because it was available. It was owned by the Bartow County School System. It had plenty of square footage, had good bones, had good heating and air. So I felt like, we had $3.5 million to renovate it, but it would cost closer to 20 to build a new building.
Yeah.
So, we could probably get the most bang for our buck using this facility.
Yeah.
Do you feel that we're more than just a school, that we're a community center where people can meet?
Well, we are a community center. We have trainings here. I don't know if you guys recognize it or not, but we have people in and out of the building every day doing trainings. And then usually after school, we have more people coming in for trainings. But tomorrow, we got a really cool event coming up. It's a Career Pathway Expo. And so every pathway is going to be displayed, and students will be there and teachers. And we're inviting all the community business folks to come in and meet our students and see what we have to offer. Because I think that, again, like communicating, a lot of folks don't even know what kind of programs we have and what we have to offer.
So those are all of our questions, but we were wondering, do you have any about our project that you'd like to ask? Or?
Well, I'm interested in your project. You guys talk about foreign language. Why do you think it would be attractive to students to offer an additional foreign language class here?
Well, when I think of marketing, there's, you know, a big business in international marketing. You know, there's people speaking languages such as Japanese or Chinese. And I think doing that, adding languages here that aren't offered really anywhere else, I think that would really help students out, because I know that there's a lot of students that want to take different languages other than French and Spanish.
So you related to the marketing program, it'd give you more versatile, more competitive advantage against other people who don't have those foreign languages.
Not just the marketing program either, because police officers and healthcare officials, they have to deal with people of all races and languages, so it would help them, I think, greatly.
The only other thing I'd really ask is, what do you think is one thing that, if you could pick one thing we could do to help promote the academy and to tell more students about what is available to them, what would you do?
Honestly, I think the way it's promoted now is really good. I just think it needs to be advertised more at the base schools, because usually we don't really know when y'all are doing sign-ups for the academy, so it's hard on us to know when to.
I think the academy should host events at the base schools, each of the base schools, so, because you know, we hear that the academy hosts events here, but really not much students know where the academy is, so it's going to be difficult to find it. But if we have it at a base school, they're almost mandatory to go to it.
Good suggestions.
All right, I think that's all we have. Thank you for your
All
time.
right, well, thank you very much. Yes, good job.